This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Welcome back to Around Kansas, and we're talking about Charles Curtis, Vice President of the United States under Herbert Hoover and native Kansan, Native American. Now, when he is living on the reservation with his grandmother down at Council Grove, the Kaw Indian Reservation, 1868, he's only 8 years old, and the Cheyenne attack the Kaw Reservation. It's little Charlie Curtis who walks back to Topeka by himself or with his uncle, depending on the story, and lets Governor Crawford know that they are under attack. So he is a first-hand witness to the Indian Wars. He goes on to become a jockey. Part of the way he makes money is riding horses, and he is a jockey at a race in Ellsworth, Kansas, documented by my friend Jim Gray in the book Desperate Seed. He meets the legendary lawman Bill Tillman, who actually buys a pie for the Indian boy, and they sit out and share a pie. There's another time they're racing in Kansas City at the fairgrounds in Kansas City when Frank and Jesse James rob the ticket office. Young Charlie Curtis hears the shots being fired as Frank and Jesse are robbing the ticket office there. He'll go on to have a taxi business in Topeka, which means that he had a buggy. So he had this buggy around town that he would carry the legislators, the attorneys. You know, he was their taxi driver. He got to know them, and he got to know one really well, Hib Case. And Hib Case mentored young Charlie, and Charlie eventually passed the bar, and then he was elected county attorney for Shawnee County. And when he was elected county attorney, he did a couple of things that brought him to the national spotlight. He closed the saloons. He had campaigned on the prohibition ticket, so he was going to close all the saloons and enforce the laws that were in place. And he prosecuted Boston Corbett, the man who killed John Wilkes Booth. So those two things brought him to national attention. Now, Boston Corbett, bless his heart, a Civil War veteran with a few issues, had been living out in Cloud County, just south of Concordia, when he got a job at the State House. And he was a doorkeeper, a guard of some sort, and he held up the state legislature at gunpoint. And some say he actually fired a gun and can point to marks in the walls that may have been made by bullets. And he was committed to the state asylum in Topeka, where he eventually escaped and never to be heard from again. But Charlie Curtis is the man who put him there. So that's when he gained national attention for that, and then his career was just off and running. Congress, the Senate, he became the first Republican majority leader of the Senate, and then the convention, the Republican convention in Kansas City, to nominate a presidential candidate, and Charlie's name is in the running. Now, he had not acknowledged that he was really disappointed that he didn't get the presidential slot. He said, "I didn't come here to be second place." But when he got second place, he got over the disappointment and actively campaigned. A tremendous response in Kansas and Oklahoma when he was nominated on that ticket. He was often called the third senator from Oklahoma because he had so much family there. He had so much business interest there. He was also called, while he was in the U.S. Senate, one of the four Western men who had basically taken over the power in the Senate. It was at that time, in the teens and 20s, that the power shifted from the East to the West, a really significant time in American history. And he's front and center. Fascinating character, and I just wanted to let you know some of the stuff that I'm doing on him. I'm working actually on a book and a documentary film about Charles Curtis. So stay tuned for more. We'll be right back.
Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.